The morning sun filtered through the curtains, casting a golden hue over the bedroom. Jake stirred awake to the soft touch of his fiancée, Mia, her presence both comforting and exhilarating. Their morning began with intimacy, the kind that leaves a lingering warmth, a bond reaffirmed in their closeness. As they lay entwined afterward, sharing whispers and laughter, Jake couldn't help but think of how fortunate he was to have Mia in his life. But even the brightest mornings have their clouds, as Jake would soon learn. Cuddling in bed, their conversation meandered between light-hearted banter and deeper musings. It was then that Mia's tone shifted, becoming more serious, even cryptic. "Jake, I have a confession to make," she began, her eyes searching his face for a reaction. Jake's heart skipped a beat, but he kept his demeanor light, offering a teasing smile. "Oh, this sounds juicy. Go on." Mia took a deep breath. "Do you remember that fight we had a few months ago? The one where I felt you weren't being fair?" Jake nodded, recalling the heated argument that had left both of them emotionally drained, but he thought resolved. "Well," Mia continued, "I was so frustrated that night when I made you dinner. I did something. I put something in your tea, something to help you sleep." Jake's smile froze. "You? What?" "I drugged you," she admitted, her voice trembling yet oddly defiant. "Your eyes were so red, and you tried to fight it, but you eventually fell asleep. I watched you for hours just thinking about us, about what to do. I was overwhelmed with anger and confusion, but in the end, I let it go. I went to bed, and that was it." The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Jake stared at her, his mind racing. Was this a joke? A twisted attempt at humor? But the look in her eyes told him otherwise. She was serious. Jake's world tilted on its axis. The woman he loved, the woman he had planned to marry, had drugged him in a moment of anger. He tried to process the layers of betrayal and danger in her confession. How could someone who claimed to love him do something so invasive, so reckless? "Jake, say something," Mia pleaded, her voice breaking the silence. He shook his head, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know what to say." Mia reached out to touch his hand, but he pulled away, the instinctive recoil like a barrier between them. "I'm sorry," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. "I wasn't thinking straight. I'd never hurt you. I needed to calm down." "You drugged me, Mia. That's not love. That's, that's something else entirely." The day passed in a blur. Jake avoided Mia, retreating to the study to think. His trust in her was shattered, replaced by fear and suspicion. The home they shared now felt like a cage, every sound magnified, every shadow ominous. Mia tried to approach him several times, but he couldn't bring himself to face her. How could he? The woman he loved had confessed to a betrayal so profound that it called into question everything he thought he knew about her. That evening, Jake sat alone, his thoughts spiraling. He considered calling a friend but hesitated, knowing they might downplay the situation. "It's nothing, bro," they'd say. "She just got carried away. Relax." But Jake knew it wasn't nothing. It was everything. He thought about seeking professional help, someone who could offer an unbiased perspective, a counselor perhaps, or even the police. But the idea of exposing such a personal betrayal felt overwhelming. The house was silent as Jake finally emerged from the study. Mia sat on the couch, her eyes red and puffy from crying. She looked up at him, hope flickering in her gaze. "Jake," she began, but he held up a hand to stop her. "I need time," and he said. "Time to think, to process. I don't know if I can trust you anymore, Mia. And without trust, there's no us." Her face crumpled, but she nodded. "I'll give you time. Just, please don't give up on us." Over the next weeks, Jake grappled with his emotions, seeking guidance and reflecting on their relationship. He realized that love, no matter how strong, could not survive without trust and respect. In the end, he made the hardest decision of his life. He ended things with Mia, choosing to prioritize his safety and well-being over a love that had turned toxic. Though the pain lingered, Jake found solace in his decision, knowing that he deserved a love built on mutual respect and trust. And as he moved forward, he carried the lessons of his past, determined never to settle for less. Months passed, and Jake began to rebuild his life. He threw himself into work, discovering a passion for writing that he had long neglected. In his free time, he joined a local hiking club, finding solace in nature and the company of like-minded individuals. One day, while hiking through a forest trail, he met Sarah, a spirited and adventurous woman with a warm smile and an infectious laugh. They bonded over their love for the outdoors and their shared experiences of heartbreak. As their friendship grew, so did their connection, built on the foundation of honesty and mutual respect. Jake's journey of healing wouldn't be complete without confronting his past. One evening, he received a letter from Mia. In it, she expressed her deep regret for her actions and her understanding of why he chose to leave. She assured him that she was seeking therapy to address her behavior and wished him happiness. Reading her words, Jake felt a mix of emotions: sadness, relief, and closure. He replied with a brief but heartfelt message, thanking her for her honesty and wishing her the best in her journey. As the seasons changed, so did Jake's outlook on life. With Sarah by his side, he found a renewed sense of purpose and joy. Together, they embarked on new adventures, their love rooted in trust and a shared commitment to building a future free from the shadows of the past. Through the trials he faced, Jake learned the importance of self-worth, resilience, and the power of genuine connection. And in embracing these lessons, he discovered a love that was truly worth fighting for. As Jake and Sarah's relationship deepened, they faced new challenges that tested their resolve. Jake's lingering insecurities, born from his experience with Mia, occasionally cast shadows over their happiness. Sarah, in turn, shared her struggles with trust, stemming from her own painful past. Open communication became their cornerstone. They spent countless nights talking about their fears and dreams, determined to build a relationship free of hidden resentments. Slowly, the wounds of their past began to heal, replaced by a bond forged in mutual understanding. One day, Jake found himself revisiting places he and Mia had frequented during their time together. It was a bittersweet journey, filled with memories both happy and painful. In a small cafe where they had shared countless laughs, he reflected on how much he had grown since those days. The journey allowed Jake to truly let go of the anger and betrayal he had carried. He realized that while Mia's actions had hurt him deeply, they had also set him on a path of self-discovery and growth. Jake's newfound happiness with Sarah was tested when he received an unexpected invitation to a mutual friend's wedding, an event Mia would also be attending. After discussing it with Sarah, Jake decided to go, viewing it as an opportunity to close that chapter of his life for good. At the wedding, Jake and Mia exchanged a brief but amicable conversation. She seemed genuinely happier, and Jake felt no bitterness, only a sense of peace. Sarah's support throughout the event reaffirmed their bond, showing Jake that he had truly found a partner who valued trust and honesty as much as he did. Jake and Sarah began planning their future together, blending their passions and dreams. They decided to start a travel blog, documenting their adventures and inspiring others to seek joy in life's simple pleasures. Through their shared experiences, their love continued to grow, rooted in trust and mutual respect. Reflecting on his journey, Jake realized that every heartbreak and triumph had taught him invaluable lessons about love and life. He learned the importance of self-worth, the courage it takes to walk away from toxicity, and the power of a relationship built on honesty. With Sarah by his side, Jake knew he had finally found a love that was worth cherishing, one that lifted him up rather than weighed him down. Together, they faced life's uncertainties with unwavering faith in each other, proving that true love can withstand even the harshest storms.